just how defense was played. What did you see from the guys?
Well, it's we've watched it and talked about it. Turnovers. Our offense, puts us in a tough position. We're giving up buckets, and then, your focus goes, and whether it's not getting back or having a breakdown, suddenly those things, are compounded, and bam, there's a 10-0 run, and all the work that you've done to come back. And so I've said it before, the strength of this team is the team. And that means 5 guys playing defense all the time, communicating. It means 5 guys running. It means, making an easy pass. And, I don't think it's, we know the way we need to play to win. I thought they played the way they needed to play to win. And there were stretches during the game where we did that. And there were others where we lost focus. And, it shows it's pretty, 46 points or 21 points, Thought we came out of halftime and we're really locked in. And, we just got to sustain that. And, you can say that. It takes a lot of focus and a lot of will to do that and play the way I think we need to play to be successful.
Was there anything that y'all did different in that stretch that allowed y'all to get back into the game?
Yeah, I think we got back where they weren't attacking the rim in transition. Our shifts were better. Just a lot of simple little details. Our closeouts were better where they weren't just driving middle. We were able to contain the ball better. And we were more efficient defensively. And that's, when you have a 21-point quarter, it's going to fuel your offense. And, that's what, that's for our group. The defensive end sets the tone for what we do on offense. And, we had breakdowns, and I didn't think we had breakdowns mentally with personnel. We had breakdowns in coverages. Kelton Johnson was just on the rim the whole game, and we know he does that.
You talked a lot about, especially at the start of the season, this being one of the 3rd youngest teams in the league. How much of these lessons, I guess, right now are going to fuel them later on, help them, and what is it going to take for them to have focus?
Well, sometimes it's, going through adversity, and, we've been playing well because we've played a certain way. And we've had a collective focus on both ends of the floor. And, if there's, I wouldn't even call it a lesson. It's just an understanding that this is who we are and this is the way that we need to play to have success. And when we diverge from that, our margin for error is not great. We've got to be able to sustain those periods, and that's when those runs come. When we're trying to do something offensively, the defense is set and we turn the ball over. Some of those are just careless too. But we get punished for those, as I said, and I think our focus on defense has to be the one thing that's always there. It's just always there. And, when we do that and sustain that, that's when we have success.
Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for you guys tonight, but Nikhil had a career night, 8 threes, 38 points. Just what have you seen from his continuous development? He's not necessarily a young guy, but he's one of the guys that
I think his role has steadily progressed, and I think the most important thing for him is making the right reads. He's prepared to shoot when he gets the ball. And, I think he's done a good job at recognizing when he's got a high percentage shot at the rim and when he doesn't and when he needs to pass it out. And tonight those shots were there. And as you said, he shot it well. We want to shoot in transition, but, I didn't think we ran hard enough. There just has to be more of a commitment for us in doing those things that we can control.
How do the dynamics or the game plan change when two of the league stars in Trey and Vic are out?
Well, we've been playing with this group for a longer period of time. there's certain things that you have to adapt to. Trey is one of the best pick and roll players in the league. We're probably not going to play as much pick and roll. Anytime you have, personnel changes, teams have to evolve and evolve quickly. We've been dealing with this since the beginning of the season. We've had 2-3 guys out pretty much consistently the whole time. And obviously tonight it was only Trey. We got a couple guys back that haven't played. And I think there's a process too when you've been out and you come back and the team, is evolving and kind of finding its strengths and that cohesion. When you have another player that comes back into that process continues. So, but that's, being able to, to adjust to those things, I think is, something that you have to focus on and we have to control, and you just keep doing it, you keep grinding away.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.